Good morning! Welcome back, or welcome if you're new. My name's Bria, and I love everything books. You know what we're doing today. We're finally going back to my favorite library book sale of all time. It has been months since I've been, but now that I'm back, you bet we will be going more often. I think the last time I went was literally like December, so it's been a while. Let's go. Just in time. Man, that bag of books is heavy. It is a few days later, and it is time for a haul. Yes, I am sitting on the floor. My room is a complete mess right now. You don't even want to see what the rest of it looks like. I got a lot of books. I think I counted and there's like 22, which is insane because it's the $10 bag day. Said that many times before. Anyways, let's go through it. There's really no order to this whatsoever. First up is A Little Life by, I don't even know, Hanya Yana Gihara? I've heard that this book is incredibly sad and tragic and will break your heart to the point like don't even read it because it's so bad, but that just means it's a great book. So I'm kind of scared to read this, but it was such a nice copy that I was like, I just have to grab it because it was like 50 cents. Just insane. Then I grabbed Kite Runner by Khalid Hosseini, another name I don't know how to say. I actually already had a copy of this book, but it's like really beat up versus this one is like really nice. So now I'm just gonna like give this to a free little library. Pretty much all of these books are like to go to a free little library. And I got Lessons in Chemistry by Bonnie Garmis. Look at this copy, like sprayed edges, literally brand new, insane. It's Barnes & Noble's book of the year. That's crazy. I actually have no idea what this book is about. I want to say it's like kind of like an Ellie Hazelwood book where it's like science and romance. Couldn't tell you. The Masterpiece by Francine Rivers. I did not know that she wrote this book. I love Francine Rivers. In fact, Redeeming Love by Francine Rivers, one of my favorite books of all time. So anytime I see a copy, I will grab one to give to friends. In fact, here's 3 other copies that I have on my gifting shelf. So that'll go there. But anyways, Francine Rivers. I love her books so much, and so whenever I see one of hers, I will grab it. Couldn't tell you what this one is about, but it's Francine Rivers, so it's gonna be good. The Lost Hero by Rick Riordan. Self-explanatory. His books are so good, and I'm trying to collect all of them to do a reread. I'm pretty sure I never read the Heroes of Olympus series. I think I just read like the first few Percy Jackson ones, but like look, perfect condition for 50 cents. Of course I had to grab it. The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. I actually never read these books growing up, but I watched the movie and I remember it being pretty good. There's like probably like 4 or 5 in the series, so it'll take a while to find all of them. This was kind of funny. Ever After High. I read these all the time growing up, and they are very nostalgic. And also it's by Shannon Hale, which I did not know Shannon Hale wrote these. She wrote like The Princess Academy, Goose Girl I think is by her. She's a great author. Definitely like a middle grade read, but these were so fun growing up. Then we have Don't Keep Silent by Elizabeth Goddard. maybe. This is part of a trilogy and I own one of the other books, so I've just been looking for it to try to complete the series. It's a Christian thriller, I think, which sounds really interesting. And that's pretty much all I know about it, but it sounds really interesting. Then we have another copy of a book that I already own, A Man Called Uva? I think it's Uva. This is by Frederick Bachman. He is a great author. I think he's a Swedish author, so all of these are translated fiction, but this book is really good. I think I give it a 4-star. That's a really powerful story. And like brand new copy. So we'll be gifting this to someone at some point. The Only Woman in the Room by Marie Benedict. I only grabbed this because I've read another book by her. I think it's Lady Clementine, could be wrong. But it's I think a World War II historical fiction. Yep. And something about Hollywood. I don't know. Looks interesting. I've read her books before, or at least one of them. Paper Towns by John Green. I've actually only read A Fault in Our Stars by John Green, but I have a lot of his books. I have Looking for Alaska. I feel like I have another one. I can't think of what it is, but his books are pretty good. Some of the Series of Unfortunate Events books. There's like 13 books in the series, which is wild. And every time I go to this book sale, they have a few of them. So I'm getting close. So it's 2 out of like 13. But you can always find these there. So grab some more. This next book is massive. It's huge. This is actually so cool. I was not expecting to find this there. It's a comparative study Bible. So it has 4 translations in it. There's the New International Version, which is the one that I usually read, and then New American Standard Bible, Amplified Bible, and King James Version. Heavy. So basically how it works, you flip open to literally anywhere. For example, here, oh my gosh, is Matthew chapter 1. And it has 4 translations of it. If you're reading a passage, you can open up to the passage you're reading, and then it has Matthew chapter 1 in every single translation, or at least these 4. And I've always wanted to get one of these because it's just like so helpful for like a Bible study, but like they're huge, and I was like, I'm not gonna buy this brand new. But then I literally just found it at this library book sale. This is so nice. Definitely will be using this. So heavy. This is why I love this book sale so much, because you can find literally anything, and because I paid $10 for this whole bag, each book literally comes out to like 50 cents, which is insane. But yeah, this was a great find. Love and Olives by Jenna Evans Welch. I think I have another one of these books, but in paperback, which I wasn't thinking about when I grabbed this, which is unfortunate, but I've heard really good things about the series. It takes place in Greece. Like, look, just, it's so cute. And I want to say it's like a YA romance. I could be so wrong about that, but isn't that just so cute? Chain of Gold by Cassandra Clare. Cassandra Clare has so many books, it's actually ridiculous. Like, even just on the back, there's some of them, and I've been collecting them whenever I can find them. And I feel like every single time I find one of her books, it's a new series. Yeah, there's so many. I want to read them all, but there's so many. They're all interconnected series too, so I'm scared. I don't even know this one existed, but apparently it's like a collector's first edition, which I don't even know what that means because there's not really anything special about it. Another Cassandra Clare book. There's so many. I'm so intimidated to start reading her books. Let me know if you've read them, what order you read them in, because I genuinely have no clue. Spy School Project X by Stuart Gibbs. I loved this series growing up. I read them so many times, and I've been trying to just find the whole series, and there are a lot. But again, every time I go to this book sale, there is a bunch of them, and I keep finding them. So one day I will have the whole series. They're probably not as good as I remember them being because they are like middle grade books, but they were so fun. The Girl in the Green Dress by Mariah Fredericks. I've never seen this book before, but I saw it on the shelf because I had it like propped up instead of just like on the shelf, and it reminded me of the cover of The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, which I've still haven't read, but it was giving the same vibe, so I picked it up. And it's I think a mystery. I don't know if it's a mystery thriller. It's definitely a mystery, and it follows Zelda Fitzgerald, who I believe is the wife of F. Scott Fitzgerald. But it also came out to like maybe like last year, I think. Yeah, 2025. So I don't know, it looks interesting. I think it's also kind of like a historical fiction mystery. Looked really interesting. I'm excited about this one. I think this is the first book I found. Namesake by Adrienne Young. Adrienne Young is so good. I read, I think it's actually right here, The Unmaking of June Farrow, which is also by her, and this is the only book of hers that I've ever read, and it was so incredibly good. This is my favorite book of this year by far. Literally so good. And then I got to meet her a few weeks ago, which was so much fun. And I've seen this cover like everywhere. The first one's Fable, and then I think this is the second one, and then of course so many books in the series. But I want to read all of her work now. Couldn't tell you what it's about, but I probably will love it if it's anything like The Unmaking of June Farrow. And then finally, The 13th Tale by Diane Setterfield. This is one of Ashlyn's favorite books of all time, I think. Or it's like one of the ones that made her realize her love for, what is the word? Can't think of the word. Gothic fiction. Or gothic something. Gothic literature. I don't really remember what it's about. Yeah, couldn't tell you what it's about, but Ashlyn was raving about it on her channel, and I wanted to read it ever since she talked about it, and then I saw it, and I was like, obviously I have to grab it. And that is it. So many books. 22 books for $10. You literally can't get a better deal anywhere else. You will catch me at this book sale literally all the time. And also just like the quality of the books are incredible. All of these are basically brand new. Insane. And that's it. See you in the next one.